Hello and welcome to MFS in the Hub. I'm Ross the Boss, and yes, I'm here with Casey, flat to the bone, Shinefold. I know it's not baseball season, not really. It's pennant, but we don't count it. That doesn't count in fantasy. So yes, we are deep, knee deep in the fantasy football week 7. And Casey,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff going on, a lot of injuries. Let's talk before we talk about waiver wire. Let's talk about some of the key injuries that's going on because if you have some of these players, you must replace them next week. And then there's 2 game teams on bye weeks again next week.
Yeah, and it's two big teams. It's Buffalo and it's Baltimore.
It's Buffalo and Baltimore. Baltimore is kind of depleted, though. I mean, Derrick
Yeah,
Henry, I
they're
don't
pretty
even have him in the
depleted
top
right
10
now.
anymore as running back. Do you? I mean, if I have Derrick Henry, I'm trading him. I mean, I think time has passed him by. What are your thoughts on Derrick Henry?
Well, I don't know if time's passed him by. I mean, it's not, in my opinion, I'm the biggest ageist there is, but he seems to be the one who can buck that trend. It's hard to judge him with how depleted that entire team is, both on the offensive line. They're missing their quarterback. I mean, it's hard to judge him, but he hasn't he how many yards did he have this week? He had a bunch, I thought, but just didn't find the end zone.
Then find the end zone. A lot. I don't know how many yards he had. I gave up monitoring him because it gets depressing. Some other injuries. Puka's hurt case. Puka has a bad
Oh, I know.
ankle.
Don't tell me about it. I have
Amika,
him in Dynasty.
your boy Amika, Abuka,
Yep.
Abuka with Tampa Bay hamstring. Garrett Wilson hip. Marvin Harrison Jr. concussion. DJ Moore undisclosed. Calvin Ridley hamstring. Jawan Jennings ribs. He played last week.
Yep. Slayton's out with a hamstring.
David Nukulu is hurt. I mean, there's a lot of big names, Casey, that are hurt, which happens every year. That's why it's important to make sure on your bench you have some good reserves, and every week you're going after some of these players that we talk about. I mean, that can make or break your season. Um, what are your thoughts on stockpiling players and then maybe trading?
I mean, it depends how deep your bench is. Obviously, if you're healthy and you can snag like a CD Lamb type who you know is going to come back in the next few weeks and be a top receiver again, and you can package some players to a desperate owner who needs a win this week. Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely what you're trying to do. You could do the same with some of these other injuries for players who might be back in a couple of weeks. Puka Nacua, if he misses this week, would be another guy in the same vein as that.
And that does
we
mean
have our first question from Jerry Fort. Would you trade Trey McBride for Kimani Vidal and Jake Ferguson? I would, because Ferguson has been dynamite for Dallas, and Dak certainly trusts him. And I don't see once CD comes back, you'll see some of his targets maybe go away, but not enough, and certainly not in the red zone. I think Ferguson and Vidal has proven to be the replacement right now for Omari and Hampton in that Chargers offense, and they run like crazy. So I probably would. I might be worried in 3 weeks or 4 weeks if Hampton comes back, what kind of situation you're in with that. But in the short term, it makes a tremendous amount of sense.
Yeah, like Casey said, short term, yes. Long term, no. Vidal will get his handoffs for the next few weeks, but that will go away as soon as.
Well, it depends how quickly. It depends how quickly Hampton comes back. So
yeah, I mean, I remember we talked about Vidal last year. We had him as one of our sleepers.
Yeah,
we liked this. We liked last year. He was a rookie, and I forgot what school he went to, but he was somebody that was the huge disappointment last year. I mean, huge. He didn't get the ball. But this year's a whole different story. And
yeah, nobody expected. I'm blanking on his name. He's now with Denver.
Denver. R.J. Harvey.
And the other one, J.K. Dobbins. Nobody expected Dobbins to stay healthy most of the year because he's never done it before, and last year he did. So, and they just announced that Hampton could be out for more than 4 weeks. So I definitely would make that trade. And to me, Kimani Vidal is the top pick.
Talking about Vidal, not the tennis player, but the football player. Let's talk waiver wire. Let's get right into it. Our cover guy that you picked.
Yeah.
We can blame Casey on this one. is Vidal. Tell me why you have him high on your list.
And Chris Atwater, thank you for the shout out. He went to Troy. So just so we know where he went. The
And tell me,
football,
Stacey,
the
what state
football
is
production facility.
what state is Troy State in? Quick.
No idea.
Okay, good. Okay, not me either. I have no idea. Okay, keep going.
He had 18 carries last week for 124 yards against. Now the Dolphins aren't exactly a juggernaut, but then Haskins, the other one we were talking about, only got 6 carries. So I think Vidal. Remember, we were highly rated on him coming out of school. We thought he was going to get a bigger role last year. He's in his sophomore year now. I think he's got that job for at least the next 4 weeks and maybe 5, and that can get you through the meat of the season. So I think he's a top 20, probably a top 15 running back for the next 4 weeks. So that's especially when you look at what's going on in Arizona, and you just talked about Derrick Henry's not doing much, and you got the problems all over the place with the running game. Javonte Williams suddenly isn't is kind of come back to earth the last couple of weeks. You got running back situations all over the place. If you can get somebody who's going to get most, Chris Atwater wanted to point out he works at Troy. It's in Alabama. Sorry, Chris. Didn't mean to sell you.
You're throwing that one pretty quick.
He's a brilliant professor, everybody, but I didn't know where Troy was. I apologize.
And what not to do in fantasy football. That's what his class is called. Casey, I mean, somebody that plays against the Dolphins this week that's going to be huge. I know he's over 60%. Is Junkins is the running back for Cleveland.
Oh yeah, Quinshon Judkins is well.
He's going to have 150 yards and 2 touchdowns this week.
He might be a top 5 running back rest of the year at this rate.
Yeah, I mean that guy is the real deal.
It was funny because he didn't sign in the preseason, so everybody's like Travion Henderson. He's going to be like Jahmyr Gibbs, only better. And what is he averaging? Like 3.5 or 5.5 fantasy points per game at this point?
Well, he doesn't get the ball. As soon as Stevenson gets benched for fumbling, which he could this week, because I think they're getting sick of him fumbling ball. We'll see we'll see him on the bench, and Henderson maybe will get the ball more because their other running back is out for the year. Let's talk waiver wire. I'm going to tell you who I like, and I'm picking him up in some leagues, is your giant Jackson Dart. I mean, this kid, I like watching him play. I mean, he runs the ball.
Yeah, he's exciting.
I mean, that's what I like out of a quarterback. I'd rather watch him play than half the other players in the NFL. And I mean, him and Scatterboo together, if they can stay together for a few years, the Giants are going to be a team to reckon.
And Malik Neighbors and Theo Johnson, they need to, if they can improve their offensive line and beef up their secondary a little bit, they could be a really good team.
I mean, Scatterboo's doing backflips when he scores. He's taking off his shirt in post-game stuff. I mean, Scatterboo's putting a spark into the Giant game. And I know you were against him because he went to the best university you can go to.
I was never against him. We all listed him as a sleeper.
Okay. I just made that part up. But I mean, Cam Scatterboo, I mean, he's my rookie offensive player of the year right now. I mean, I'll just tell you that. I'm biased with Arizona State. But my MVP player for this year so far, and I wish Dr. Dan Ratner was here because of this loving putting it in his face, is Baker Mayfield. Mayfield, ever seen a guy that doesn't like to lose like that? I mean, he is running, he's throwing, he's
doing it with all of his receivers hurt. So,
I mean, do you agree with me, Casey? Right now,
yeah, I think up to this point, he's probably the MVP. You could other surprise teams. I mean, the Colts, but would it be Daniel Jones or Jonathan Taylor there? So I think as far as outperforming what anybody could have possibly expected and willing his team to victories is Baker Mayfield, and that's what makes you MVP.
Yeah, and they play against probably the worst defensive backfield in football this week because they're all depleted, they're all injured. It's not a joke, or they're suspended. That is Detroit. They played Detroit this week, and that whole team is depleted when it comes to defense. And Baker's, I mean, that game's going to be like a 60-point game. I mean, both teams are going to score over 30 points. And so if you have fantasy players in Detroit or Tampa Bay, which you can pick up some guys, I like Shepard this week. I love Oaten. Their
Cade
tight
Otton
end.
and Sterling Shepard. Yep.
I love Oaten. Their tight end. I think he'll have 60 yards at least and a touchdown because he's running out of receivers. I mean, he really is. I mean, their whole receiving core is hurt. I mean, all their starters are gone, and now they're down to Shepard and some other backups. It's going to be interesting what happens in Tampa Bay, but I don't think it matters for Baker Mayfield, Casey. I mean, he can throw to Dr. Dan Ratner, and I think he'll have 80 yards receiving Dr. Dan Ratner, and he's never caught a football in his life. And I mean, it just, if you have Baker, God bless you. If you don't have him, try to get him.
And if you're in a situation where you're Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or one of those hurt guys and you need to pick somebody up, Aaron Rodgers against Cincinnati is not a bad play this weekend.
Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, that's on Thursday night, not this weekend, Casey. It's Thursday night.
Thursday night. I apologize. You mentioned Jackson Dart.
We're watching it. We're going to be in your man cave. Everybody's invited. It should be a good game. Flacco did not look bad for Cincinnati. I know we have to talk waiver wire, but I love just putting in some of the stuff that happened over the weekend.
I know, but we got to talk waiver wire.
I know. We're going. Casey, who else do you like? Who else is on your genius list? Go.
Well, I like, in Arizona, if you need a running back, Zonovan Knight or Bam Knight, depending on what you want to call him, seems to have taken over for Michael Carter. And Benson's not eligible to return until week 10. So you have at least 3 or 4 more weeks out of him. I think now is the time to pick up Jaden Blue in Dallas.
Okay.
You've seen a couple bad weeks now for Javonte Williams. Miles Sanders is out for the season. So Blue is already the handcuff, and he's that kind of lottery ticket, and he's starting to get targets. I don't think he's going to help you. He's starting to get carries. He's going to help you this week or maybe next. But if you're looking for somebody who can help you in the long run and down the stretch run, I think Jaden Blue.
My boy Blue, Casey. Remember old school?
Boy Blue.
I don't know if you saw that movie. Unbelievable.
Obviously, it seems like Kayshon Boutte has a pretty good rapport with Drake May there in New England after his 2 touchdown time this past weekend. Josh Downs is doing really well in Indianapolis. If you're looking for wide receivers, you already mentioned Sterling Shepard. Tight ends, Harold Fannin. Njoku has a knee issue. We don't know what's going to happen, but Fannin has proven that he can be a good receiving tight end. You mentioned Cade Otton, and Mason Taylor is another one I would consider for the Jets, even though the Jets offense is as bad as any offense could ever possibly be.
You mentioned the word tight end. Somebody I got to give props to is Will Warren. I mean, this guy was the
Tyler Warren, you mean?
Tyler Warren. He was the second.
Will Warren is the pitcher for the Yankees.
I know. Leave me alone. Warren for the Colts was the second tight end taken in the draft. The first was the guy for the Bears, Loveland. Is that how you say it?
Colston Loveland, yep.
I mean, and Warren, to me, he's the best tight end.
He's the offensive rookie of the year. I know.
I can dream about Cam. Can I?
Scatterby, but if Scatterby keeps doing it for the rest of the season, it's hard to deny.
Yeah, if he has 3 TDs
Quinton Judkins
game,
has been pretty awesome.
3 TDs and 98 yards rushing every game. He'll win.
Yeah, he'll win it if he does that.
He'll win it.
He'll also be an NFL
also
MVP.
Break every record in the world too. I get it. But yeah, I mean, just to go over really quick, some of the receivers that you should pick up in Tampa. If it's not Shepard, there's Tez Johnson, who I like, and also Cameron Johnson, the Johnson brothers, we call them. They're all 3 of them are going to get the ball. There's no one. Evans is gone. Evans is out for a while. I mean, it's unbelievable the receiving core they're down to in Tampa Bay. But Baker would throw the ball. He doesn't care. He'll whip it around. Casey, anybody else that you want to talk about? Waiver wire. You mentioned Downs. You mentioned Fannin.
I mentioned the big ones. Jalen Coker's been pretty good in Carolina, and he's missed the first 6 games, so he has a chance to make his debut this year. He was good last year. That might give them an additional option, so he's not just peppering Tetaroa McMillan the whole time. Again, those are guys who might not be difference makers the first week you pick him up, but like Jaden Blue, you're picking him up because you think in 2 to 3 weeks he could be a difference maker. So
I also like, we talked about last week, and he had another big game this week, is Bourne for San Francisco. Kendrick, I mean, he's getting the ball. I mean, Mac Jones loves him. And
well, I mean, it just goes to prove that Kyle Shanahan's system just churns out fantasy assets in that position, because that's Juwan Jennings' position, I think.
It is, but he played and I think he had one catch.
Yeah, well, they moved him out of that position. And when Brandon Ayuk comes back, I think you're going to see. I'm worried Kendrick Bourne's going to be lost again.
I think he will, but you never know if he may get some more reps because he's proving that he's a commodity in the league. So let's talk. Anybody else, Casey, that you're looking to pick up this week that you want to talk about that's under 50%?
Oh man, under 50%. That's tough.
Tajay
Spears might be somebody you could pick up. Bill Callahan's been fired. That's another important thing to note. The Tennessee Titans head coach.
I saw that. Were you surprised really quick? I know you live in Pennsylvania. Were you surprised?
James Franklin?
That Franklin was fired?
No, I don't think.
I mean, losing to Northwestern and losing to UCLA.
Both with 20+ point favorites. I mean, all right. Lunch Table Legend wants, are Luther Burden and Tajay Spears good stashes that can be plugged in as early as this week? Is J.J. McCarthy a sleeping giant with those weapons? I think Luther Burden and Tajay are great stashes. I wouldn't plug them in this week.
No.
We got the Bears are going against, they're at home against New Orleans. And let's be honest, Rome Odunze is still number one. DJ Moore is number two. So I don't know if Luther Burden is a good stash. At Tajay, I like more maybe this week. He outsnapped Tony Pollard last week, and now there's a new coach coming in, and Tajay is going to get more run. Tennessee is up against.
Just so everybody knows, Tennessee is the worst team in the league.
They're up against New England. I don't know if I'd play him.
I say you stay
I don't know if I'd play him this week.
Stay away from that team, guys. Don't start anybody in Tennessee, please.
And then he talked about J.J. McCarthy. So I'll put the next J.J. McCarthy or Michael Penix rest of season. I'm going to go with Michael Penix the rest of the season. Not because I don't like J.J. and I like the weapons he has. You're absolutely right. They could be huge. But Penix has shown that he's just going to throw the ball to Drake London and to Bijan Robinson and get the heck out of the way. And that's worked pretty well. He might only throw for 200, 250 yards, but London's going to be a beast and Bijan's going to be a beast. Kyle Pitts might catch an occasional one here or there, but what did London get? Like 50, 60% target share last night?
He had like 9 catches by like.
And if he didn't step out of bounds at the end of the first half, he would have had a touchdown there too.
I mean,
kind of a boneheaded play.
London. I mean, Pitts, of course, had a couple grabs, but nothing to talk about.
J.J. McCarthy didn't look that impressive except for one quarter in the games he played prior to getting hurt. So I'm a little reluctant to say that he's a sleeping giant. I think he's a stash and watch, because if he develops some chemistry with Addison and with Hawkinson and with Jefferson, I think then, absolutely, he could be dynamic. He's going to run better than Penix. But Penix knows what he has and is just willing to feed the beasts. And that's always a better floor.
If this happens, if Puka does not practice on Friday, not practice on
Jordan
Friday.
Whittington for the win.
Jordan Whittington, thanks for stealing my line. Jordan Whittington is somebody that you should really consider picking up, because guess who leads the league in passing yards?
Matthew Stafford.
Yeah,
and guess who led the league in receiving yards? He was an MVP consideration if he
was
doesn't
too.
play.
I mean, I don't know how serious his injury. The Rams I live in LA. The Rams have not discussed it at all. Very quiet about it. And I live, not joking, about 2 miles from their practice facility. So I might just pop over there and try to look over the fence and see if he's practicing, because I seriously, I can do that without them knowing. And but I might take a look, because it sounds to me that Puka's, it's pretty serious injury. I don't think he's playing. Usually when he is playing, they'll say, he's day to day, but he'll be out there, whatever. But they're not saying anything. And I think that Withington, that could be a great start, because Adams will get his catches, but they need somebody else to throw it to. And even Higbee is a good pickup, maybe a tight end. He had some catches last week too. Tyler Higbee. So
problem is my RB2s are Travion Henderson and RJ Harvey, basically unstartable. So Tajay could be the better play. I agree that Travion is unstartable. I'm not sure about RJ Harvey. He's getting pretty good snaps. They're going against the Giants this week, and they are a 7-point favorite. So the game script could be there. I think RJ Harvey and Tajay are pretty similar in terms of the risk associated with each of them.
yeah, I would go with Tajay. I think that.
But I can understand why you'd go with Tajay. But you have to remember, Tennessee has been the worst team in football in a lot of ways, with the exception of the Jets, because, well, they're the Jets.
No, 45 yards passing last week for.
At one point, he had negative 10 yards.
I mean, negative. Yeah, he had negative 10 at halftime, I think. I mean, that's honestly
sacked 9 times.
The coach should be fired. I mean,
which reminds me of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. How many times he was absent? 9 times.
9, but 9 means no in German, and it's amazing a coach can still keep his job with that kind of stats.
Yeah. Well, I think they're playing for the first pick of the draft because obviously they need a quarterback, and it's a quarterback-heavy draft coming out. So,
is it? Yeah, I mean, it's not. You're not mentioning Arch Manning. I wouldn't pick in the 5th round. So if you're thinking Arch Manning,
he had a good game against Oklahoma this past week.
Not deserving the number 1 pick in the draft, but whatever. I mean, Casey, who else am I picking up?
I think we gave them enough names for today. I mean, we could list a bunch, but it doesn't really help them at this point.
Okay, really quick, because we never talk about the games that are coming up and the games that you like fantasy-wise that people are going to score. You want high-scoring games, obviously, if you're a fantasy player, right?
Sure.
So Thursday, real quick, I'll make this quick. Pittsburgh is at Cincinnati. Are we starting everybody on Pittsburgh?
Yes. DK Metcalf, Aaron Rodgers, Jonnu Smith, and probably
now I know
Jaylen
you love
Warren.
the international games.
And Kenneth Gainwell, actually.
Gainwell's been getting the ball a lot, but I think
especially around the goal line.
But Warren, I don't know if you watched Warren play last week. He was like running like a madman.
Yeah.
And that script says everything about Warren's going to have a huge game. So if I have Warren, I'm for sure starting him. I think he'll have 75 yards and at least 1 touchdown.
What other games we talking?
Rams, Jaguars. That's a London game. I guess
I don't like it at all. I'd probably stay away from it.
Anytime
I don't like London games anyway. And the Jaguars are going up against good defense, and Matt Stafford might be without Puka.
The Patriots are at Tennessee.
The Patriots could put up. Drake May has proven to be he's a top 5 quarterback, I think, in fantasy this year.
May. Yeah.
So I think Drake May gets run there. I think Stephon Diggs and Boutte get run. I think Ramondre gets run, and Hunter Henry.
New Orleans is at Chicago.
I think. Wow.
Say it.
Juwan Johnson might be the only one on New Orleans. Maybe Rashid Shaheed, and then I'm running Rome Odunze and DeAndre Swift out there, definitely.
I wanted to say DeAndre Swift. You look great last night. Miami is at Cleveland. We talked about Judkins getting 150 yards.
Quinshon Judkins, I'm running all day.
Yeah, Cleveland's defense is good. I would be afraid.
I think you can run Jerry Jeudy out there. I don't think anybody on Miami is going to put up numbers.
There you go. Carolina at the Jets. Who's going to? First of all, the question is
Bryce Young is a startable player this week, at least in Superflex. Bryce Young is startable in Superflex.
I'm writing that down. Bryce Young startable at Superflex.
Tedero and McMillan. How about Uncle Rico? Rico Dowdle's been amazing.
Oh my God! Yeah, let's talk about him real quick. 200 yards. I mean, unbelievable. The past 2 weeks for Dowd. I mean,
he's just been insane. So I think you got to run him out there. You got to run Tedero and McMillan. You got to run Bryce Young.
Eagles at Vikings.
That could be a defensive shutdown on both sides.
I was going to say that. I think you're right.
You invested so much in Jalen Hurts and Justin Jefferson and Saquon. You're running them out there, but you don't. AJ Brown. You don't feel great about it.
No. The Raiders are at the Chiefs. The Chiefs look really good last week.
I think the Chiefs are going to put up 35 points.
The Raiders, once in a while, they can upset Kansas City. Not this time. The Giants are in Denver, Casey.
Again, I might stay away from it, although Bo Nix wasn't great last week. J.K. Dobbins, I would probably run out there. Maybe I would run Cam Scadaboo because he can run through people. That's important when you're going against Denver.
This game could be the highest
They
scoring game.
They just sacked Justin Fields 9 times, so I'm not feeling real good about the passing offense for. Although I like Jackson Dart, but I'm probably not running them out there.
How many times do you think Pittsburgh's going to sack Flacco on Thursday?
4.
I say 6.
I think Flacco to me, just like, he doesn't care. He's just going to go out there and sling it. If Jamar Chase is open, I'm going to throw it to him. If Jamar Chase is almost open, I'm going to throw it to him. Same with T. Higgins. I don't think he's going to take sacks. I think he's going
to throw the ball at least 50 times.
Yeah, he's going to sling it.
They're not going to lose anymore. This is the highest. I think this will have the highest total of the year. The Washington Commanders are at Dallas.
I mean, Dallas is notoriously a sieve on defense. It depends if McLaurin comes back. If Terry McLaurin's back, I really like the Washington offense.
I do, but I mean,
I love to. I mean, I think Jaden Daniels is going to be fine. I think Zach Ertz is going to put up his 45 yards on 4 catches or whatever, maybe find the end zone. Debo, who knows? He's hit or miss. I'm not a big Krosky Merritt guy, as much as that goes against what everybody's saying. On Dallas's side, you got to love Dak Prescott and Jake Ferguson, what they're doing this year. George Pickens has been an absolute monster the last few weeks with Lamb out. I'll be curious to see what happens when he's back. So it could be high scoring, but it could be high turnovers too.
Another high scoring game, KC, is Atlanta at San Francisco. As you know, I love Atlanta's, those 3-headed monsters we talked about.
Yeah, it's going to be what it is. You're going to have 100 plus or close to 100 and a touchdown for Drake London. Same with Bijan, over 100 combined yards and a touchdown. Michael Penix will probably not have a ton of passing yards, maybe 225, hopefully 2 touchdowns, but you don't know. He doesn't run the ball at all. San Francisco, I don't know if Purdy is coming back or not. They say he has
Montana,
a chance to.
Yeah, Brock Montana,
but who's he throwing to? So,
yeah, Dr. Dan Ratner. And then Monday night's game, really quick, because we don't come back to next. We have 2 games Monday night, Casey. The first one, the over-under is already 52.5. We'll go up to 55. Is Tampa Bay at Detroit? That's going to be
shootout. I'm playing everybody in that game.
Everybody. The second game is Houston, who's getting better. They're not as bad as we think. Is at Seattle, and Seattle at home is so good. That's the problem.
Yeah, I'm worried about that one for the Woody Marks and Nico Collins of the world. I'm running Nico out there just because I used a first or early second round pick on him, obviously, but I don't feel great about it. Seattle, Ken Walker and Zach Charbonnet might be the most frustrating backfield in the world, because I think Ken Walker is clearly the better running back, but Charbonnet gets plenty of run there. JSN has proven to be a top 5 wide receiver. Sam Darnold just throws it, finds him. But I mean top 5 overall. I know he's top 3 this year, but I'm saying overall, next year in drafts, he's probably a top 5 pick.
He's been money this year. And where did he go like usually in the draft? Was he like a 3rd round guy or 2nd round?
Probably 4th, I would guess, if I was guessing somewhere in the high 30s, low 40s. And they have this kid, Torrey Horton, who I really like in Seattle. I don't know if he's going to put it all together yet, but the Colorado State wide receiver is pretty good. So
that's the plan for this week for fantasy, guys. Just remember, fantasy is totally different when it comes to what team you like, who's going to win, who's going to lose. Doesn't matter. Fantasy, it doesn't matter if you're on the winning side or losing side, as long as your guy produces. Casey, I will see you Thursday, 1 o'clock.
I'll be here.
Pacific, 4 o'clock Eastern. And we got baseball tonight. Who do you like real quick? Dodgers, Brewers, go.
Brewers.
I do too. I'm Ross the Boss.